So, very good day, everybody. We are sitting at the south of California, and we're about to do a discrete package delivery, if you will. What we will be doing is we'll be taking off here from a little private airfield, and then we will follow flying across along the border, and then we'll cross the border into Mexico. This is actually the second stream. The first one, something went wrong, so we're simply doing it again. And I will show you the flight plan, if that's what you want to call it. So what the planning is, we are sitting here at the Lake Wohlford Resort in the south of California, or as you can see, close to San Diego Airport, San Diego. So we are north. We take off, we'll fly a heading of 086 degrees. We'll fly for about 21 nautical miles until we reach our first VFR, Julia Lima, India. And then from there we basically carry on to another pair of VFRs, in which at some stage we will actually cross the border with Mexico. And this little uncontrolled airfield, there is no tower here, we'll land here to make a little delivery, and then we'll take off, cross the border into the United States again, and we'll land at the Roll airfield, and then we'll fuel up there, and probably I'll spend the night and maybe visit a friend in prison or something. So that is in a nutshell our intentions. So it is a beautiful evening. The sun is setting in the ocean there behind us, and here's our aircraft. It's a PA44 SEMINOLE. So we have actually loaded the cargo, so let's go ahead and close up the cargo door. Let's get into the aircraft and start it up, and let's see if we can take off from here. It is actually quite a short runway, so hopefully we will manage, and if not, there's always time to do another crash. The thing with this airfield is that way at the end there of the runway there are some trees, so I think it's probably best if we just try and go as far back as we can, so we have some time to make some speed and get this plane off the ground. So without any further ado, let's start up this sucker. Fuel pump, obviously mixture go to reach the full, and we should never forget the fuel tanks 1 and 2. Add just a little bit of thrust there, and I think we should be good to start the engines. So let's start engine number 1. So that's turning on. start engine number 2. So I got this. Let's close up the little window here. Okay, so while the engines are warming up, we're going to turn on all the lights, the strobes, the recalc lights, landing lights, nav lights, and the avionics. We will be using the avionics due to the nature of our flight. Believe for now it's probably best not to turn on the squawk there. So our first VFR is 114.0, and going to enter it actually twice. 114.0. There you go. And you can see it's recognized already, 21 nautical miles. So that's good, because that's precisely what we need. We'll be flying a heading of 086 degrees to line up, to fly straight to the VFR. So let's just adjust both of the needles, because the autopilot will then start following this for the VFR. Okay, so that has been done. Let's have a look outside a little bit. It's a beautiful sight with the sun. This is actually a very nice area. So let's just start pushing back a little bit. So the engine go to idle. Flaps for the takeoff. And let's release the parking brake. And push back a little bit. There we go. Probably safe to actually go into the grass here a little bit. Obviously not too far, but we might actually need every inch here that we can cover. So this is quite exciting. Let's try to get ourselves lined up. Do need a slightly more power to get off the grass here. Okay, so this is what we'll use. Let's have a look outside. Well, let's hope we make this, people, because the first attempt failed. So I'm not really sure if maybe we should attempt a flap 2 takeoff. I think actually that's what I'm going to try. So just let's hope for the best. Parking brakes, no parking brakes set, and power it up. Full thrust. Oh my God. Okay, that was a bit of a messy takeoff, but we are off the ground, people. Now just try to trim it. go, gear up. And the flaps can go up too. So we'll aim for an altitude of about 4,000 feet. Let's start by engaging the nav hold. And this should now try to get us on the correct track to our first VFR, which was Juliet Lima, India. So that was a pretty scary takeoff actually, and I did screw up a little bit by trying to keep the aircraft centered on the runway, and then I gave a little too much rudder input or something, and the aircraft started going to the right and almost hit one of the structures there, which is obviously never any kind of safe situation to find yourself in. So please do not do this at home. Let's have a little look at the exterior for now and see if we can enjoy a little bit of the view. So it's a beautiful area here in the south of California, United States. The sun setting behind us. But the landing light is still on. We will turn this off momentarily. Well, definitely looking pretty. There's no argument there. Okay, so we're actually still climbing. We should not leave the engines climbing for too long, revving for too long. This high probably. I've chosen to go a little higher than the 4,000 because I will show you that is along the way what we can expect. On our way to the first VFR. There will be somewhere I saw a little mountain, a range of 4,051 feet high. So we will definitely need to cross that, obviously, and we not want to fly into that. So a little bit altitude is something that we would like. So let's have a look now at the situation. So it looks like we're following the track to the VFR. And let's just trim it down and engage the altitude hold. So this is now holding the altitude for us. It's quite windy up here. Okay, so we are well on our way now. So as a sort of improvised after takeoff checklist, I'm going to turn off the landing lights. And I'm also going to turn off the fuel pumps for now. And we're just happily cruising. So in the back there, we behind those two seats here, and there is our cargo. Look at the wind. It is definitely quite windy up here. So now if we check the ME, we are 9.4 nautical miles, 9.3, so we're actually getting closer to the VFR. The VFR is actually, if I see this correctly on the charts, right behind this mountain ridge there. So we should start thinking about putting in the next VFR. So here's the mountain, 4051. And then there's the VFR. And then we go for 49 nautical miles, heading 097 to our first VFR, which is November Juliet Kilo El Centro, which is 111.0. Yes, 111.0. Let's arm it here, 111.0. Unfortunately, we cannot arm here. We will be flying over these mountain tops fairly low, but it should still be fine, I think. So we are now flying at an altitude of 7,300 feet. And if we look at the charts, our heading should become 097. So that's where we should find the VFR signal, 097. So we're about overhead now, so I'm going to flip it, so 111.0, so we change that there, and also we change it here. Unfortunately, it is not picking up yet, so what I will do is change this back to 114.0. It is still counting down, I believe. It's not slowing, yes, it's still counting down. So from here we will need to fly a heading. Let me quickly check again what the heading was, 097. So what we could do now, as an overlap, we just put in a heading for a little while, 097. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer so we could all see. So this is 09er, 095, this is 10, so 97 should be around there somewhere. So as soon as this starts counting back up again, we're now 197, nautical mile from the VOR. Maybe we can see it if we look out the window. I think this is it. That's our VOR station probably. Okay. So no pussyfooting. So we're going to select heading. So now the autopilot is going to fly the heading bug and follow that. I do not know my way around here, so visual is not really an option for me. So it's sort of VFR and a little bit of IFR as well. So 1.1.0. So this has been armed. Unfortunately, there is no DME activated yet for this frequency. So we'll definitely have to get closer. I see that the radio here turned itself on, which under normal circumstances would probably be very nice. But we will turn it off. So this is definitely a very beautiful time of day to fly in an area like this. In the meantime, I will quickly check to see if there is anything online in the VFSIM. It's always nice to have some chatter in the background, but nothing really in our neighborhood currently online. So we will keep on checking to see if the DME starts kicking in. So nothing yet. So let's have another look at the chart. So we just crossed this VOR, so we should be around, I don't know, here somewhere. So what else can we expect up ahead? There's a mountain ridge which we should sort of cross the outer ridges. The peak would be 5349 feet. An airport somewhere to the right at 1 or 2 o'clock-ish, depending on where we are precisely, obviously. And then there is some interesting airspace which I do not yet fully understand from reading the sectionals and the charts and everything. Obviously the words restricted are definitely understood. I do remember seeing this area, which always reminds me of the artist Kanye West. So Kanye West, if you ever see this, here is a shout out from your man Arkady. So basically we'll just carry on. Does not appear to be too much. There's some ranches. There's a ranch there, and there was another ranch here, the Desert Wing Sky Ranch. And then there's the Agua Caliente Springs. It's a little airfield also without control tower. Also, I've been checking up a little bit of information about the sectional charts and stuff, and the airspace, and well, it was interesting to say the least. So let's just head back to the cockpit. Look, and we can see actually the colors are changing really beautifully due to the sun setting behind us. This is really a nice view. This is really well done by Sobo, don't you think? And I believe the developers for this aircraft of Coronado, to say this correctly. In any case, the link is in my description, so you can definitely check it out. It's a payware aircraft. I love these little dents here that they made at the seam, next to the seams where the bolts are and stuff. It's really very detailed. It looks absolutely beautiful. Very nicely done. By the way, I did see now that the DME has picked up. Okay, so for some reason the squawk radio keeps on turning on. So let's just squawk 1200. We're following the heading. What I will do now is see if we can actually follow the navigation. Turn off the heading. The thing is, when you fly a heading and there is some wind coming, your nose will keep on trying to point to that heading. Wherever, if it's blowing you to the left or to the right, doesn't care. But when you're flying a track, your plane should always try to keep above a certain ground track, which obviously is a lot better. Does not appear to have been picked up here, actually, on this dial yet. Was supposed to be around 0906. Let's just put it there again, just in any case. It is definitely sitting there. Does it need to refresh or anything? Let's just put this one off and we can see if it corrects itself. And this one also doesn't really seem... I do not understand this actually, really. But at least we have the DME, so perhaps the DME reaches further, but probably I'm just talking out of my behind. So what I will actually do is switch back now to simply heading, because at least we know that the heading was supposed to be correct. I really wonder why the DME is picking up, but the track is not yet picking up. Wouldn't you think that would be sort of the same? Do a little experiment with the switching. Probably out. Yeah, see, so if I switch back to the old VFR, that still picks up. If I now switch back to the new one, it just centers. Okay, but we'll probably get there. We are on the correct, at least on the correct heading. I'm not really sure about what the wind is doing here. It's blowing us to the left or to the right of the track, but we should get there. Let's just sit and watch the sunset for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to roll another rolling tobacco cigarette. Usually my flights are smoking. You can definitely see there's a quite heavy wind. Playing with us, and there was actually something on the chart as well that was warning about quite severe winds up high. Obviously, I'm not really sure how high they meant, because I did not believe they actually specified that. But yes, winds and altitude makes sense, and especially now that we can see that the aircraft is being toyed with by the forces of nature. And there goes the sun behind the mountain range at the horizon there. Which means that in about let's say 30 minutes perhaps, maybe a little quicker at this latitude, not really sure, but will really start becoming difficult to see. Could be lucky if there is a moon tonight to cause just a little more light, you know, for us to see. But we'll see. We have the chart, so you know, when you're in doubt, simply climb. So at least you know you're not flying into a mountain or anything. Because I do not think this aircraft is equipped with ground radar system. Oh, was somebody saying anything? But in the chat, Amaru Chihuahua says, bro, check performance mode out, it will make the plane so much cooler. Control Shift F1 to unlock Piper's performance mode. What the hell are you talking about? I will Google this later. Sorry for the late reply, Amaru or Amori Chihuahua. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, my friend. you know, yes, the chats, I do not get a notification. I have my cell phone here next to me, and it is not always clear immediately. So I'm sorry if my responses are a little late. So anyway, there goes the sun. Looks like a very nice scene here. Okay, so what we're looking at now, 16.5 nautical mile. I think there's the airport that we saw on the charts. Hey, you know what? I'm actually just realizing. Control Shift F1. I think that was what I used to use in FSX to shut down my engines. So it's probably wise not to follow this guy's advice there. Although it would have been quite a funny joke, I must definitely say. Okay, so can we now follow the nav, or is it simply? No, this just does not seem to work. That's interesting. Nope. Doesn't want to budge. Okay, so no problem. Disengage the nav and just keep a flying the heading. At least it looks like we have an active distance measuring equipment going on there. So what we best should do now is try and orient ourselves a little bit. So the aircraft is now at our, what's that, 2 o'clock? Is that actually the airport now? Yeah, it's right there in front of us. Let's say 12 or 1 o'clock. And the distance to the DME is saying is 1.5. So I'm just going to have a look at the chart again. So that should be this. So from here, could probably this big one, probably this could pick up. Let's see, what is this? Callsign International Imperial is 115.9. So 115.9. Let's just look it up. Put that in. Look, that's actually doing something, so that's a good start. And the heading, it actually does not really say the heading, but be around over 100 or something. Let's just flip it and see what happens. So it's around 1.2. So we put in 115.9. There's the decimal niner, and there's the 115. And we just click on the nav. What is good, we are on our way to our next VOR. So we were looking at one ghost VOR. Turn on a little bit of the lights so can we see what we're thinking. So we're still good on the fuel, exhaust gas temperature, exhausting. The first stars are popping in. Man, the graphics are stunning, I'm telling you. I'm really loving them. So this looks like the El Centro airfield. We're now carrying on to our next VOR still. There goes another airplane. Hello, other airplane. Hello. Let's not scare it with our mouth, shall we? What if all of a sudden it's going to crash? Okay, so 8 nautical miles. Have a look outside, the external view. There's the city. There's an even bigger city up ahead. next VOR. We'll get the chart. Let's open up the chart there. Thank you. So if we fly to the next VOR, that is 115.0. So we'll put that in now. Let's just try, let's do it like this then, 115.0. This one seeing it, so that's good. Do not seem to find the bottom there. Come on. Oh, there it is. I was clicking, thinking the wrong, yes. Okay, so 115. Then it makes 115.0. There you go. That's also picking up, so that's good news. I'm got a little off the track there. Engage the nav, and the aircraft starts turning and tries to now follow the other VOR. There's quite some traffic, one there, one there, one there below us. So we are 14.7 nautical miles from, what was the name? From the Grau Rodolfo Sanchez Taboada. So we are about to cross the Mexican border. Airport. This wing is kind of in the way. Then once we reach VFR here, we are actually sort of flying blind because there is no DME, there is no VOR, no ADF here, anything. So we just have to do it visually. So our best bet is to fly 104 from the moment we reach on top of the VOR here. So heading 104. So in preparation, how far are we? Yeah. So 104, I'm going to put in the heading. I'm just going to be a little bit anal about this now. And just get all the way up there. This would be 10, 105. That's basically the same as the track that we're flying now, I think. And that should take us about 25 nautical miles. So what I suggest, not sure what, see, let me show you. So 25 nautical miles from this next VOR, we are a little in front of it. So if we just do not change the VOR in the radio, we can still use the DME to determine how far we are from the VOR, and then we know about 25 nautical miles. We should be at the airport here where we will land. Fortunately, it's not pitch black outside yet, but it's definitely getting there. Behind us still bright, nice orange and purple colors. There's a big city at the border. Looks like we're crossing the border. When we check the watch the zoom in again. There, looks like we're crossing the border. What I would believe or assume, judging by the yellow line there. Nautical mile until we reach the VOR. Obviously, with our altitude, it will never be precisely 4 nautical miles. That would mean that we'd be flying straight over the ground. So the DME counting down will never completely reach 0. So once it starts counting back up, we just wait until we reach about 25 nautical miles or 20 or so. We should be able to see some runway lights, I hope. Definitely big city up ahead. My apology. And looks like it's St. Louis, Colorado there. So yeah, so that's another VFR landmark, if you want to call it that. So let's look at the DME, 1.3. Is it going down or is it now going to go up? Yes, it's going up. So we have passed the VOR. So we're just going to keep it tuned to 115.0. It actually stopped, see, when you fly a reverse navigation. No, let's stop that. Okay, so it's going to do heading then. This does not make sense at all. This does. Let's try heading again. So I'm going to experiment now. Stand by. Nav reverse. So is it now holding? Looks like this is working. So basically we now ask the aircraft or the autopilot to fly the reverse heading. You see here we're flying from the VOR. Unfortunately, it will never let you fine tune completely. So let's give the aircraft a little time to settle. Because it looks like we're not completely flying to that heading. So we might be drifting to the right a little bit. Obviously, probably it's on here as well, but it's kind of nice to just try to use these things. So we're 8.3, 8.4. So we got about less than 20 nautical miles to go. I am going to check the charts and see if there's any mountains or anything. I do not believe I saw any. So basically what we're trying to do now is fly from here. No, it looks fairly flat, so that's good. airport yet. Some lights that might be standing out there, but it's a little too far to tell. Let's see if we can, let's have a look at the situation here with the reverse VFR. Not really sure why it's not flying straight. Slowly reduce our altitude, or at least the vertical. Let's turn on the vertical speed. (200 feet per minute). You can see slowly we are descending, also picking up a little bit of speed. We compensate a little bit for that. Can I turn on a little more lights? I do not believe this aircraft is an overhead light. It's way too dark to see. Oh, look what's it doing. This is interesting. Oh, is it actually trying to follow the VFR there? Still slowly descending, the speed is still fine. No overhead light. I think there would be one on the other side as well. It looks like it's on. Yeah, it's dimming. Okay. So then there's none. So the light's here in the middle. Okay. Turn off. Oh, look, there you go. It's actually nice and bright. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so what's our situation? 18.7 nautical miles from our last VFR. So we should definitely be able to find out some airport somewhere. Let's reduce the speed a little bit. And let's increase our rate of descent. To about 400 feet per minute. Let's go 5. We're 21 nautical tour to the outside view from now. It looks like that could be an airport. I think this might actually be it. Gonna zoom in. If it is not lit at all. So I'm not really sure. Probably this is a piece of like a body of water or something. And I can tell you, you do not want to plant this lane in the water. Okay, so what are we looking at? So far I do not seem to find any airports. If we check the DME, we should be at 2.5 now, so 500 to go. So we should actually be sitting on top of the airport. So now I actually going to resort to... see, I think our airport is actually... It might not be in the flight sim. Because the ICAO code I could not find. Okay, so we're going to have to do a backup plan now. We will have to land. But our delivery was for Mexico. But at least we are like really close to our final destination. But yes, the whole point was to not get the cargo over the border on land. But, so yeah. Could quickly check, but I do not believe there's any other airfields in the vicinity. So there's the San Luis Rio, Colorado, and there's the Raleigh airfield. That is about it. So my boss was not paying too much attention. So I hope he's still there once I return. Not really sure what is going on. Okay, so anyway, change of plan then. We're going to divert to the Raleigh airfield. There's a Yuma that should be... Yeah, there's a bigger airfield, but we're not going there. So how the heck do we find this? Sort of straight north, probably, from where we are now. Let's have a look. Then is now use the GPS. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else we can do. Look, there's MM76. Wait, MM76. I believe that's actually the ICAO code. That is San Luis. Yeah, so not really sure how we missed that. Yeah, no problem. MM76. So let's see if we can put it here in the GPS. Let's first establish a level flight at 4,000 feet. So we'll level it off. also have the altitude holding. That's one thing less to worry about. So Mike 76. So basically we'll try, let's see, can we get like this, no, probably it's our best shot. Okay, so where's the direct page? Mike 76. So we go look for the Mike 76 now. Mike 7, no, come back, and there comes the number 6, San Luis Rio, Colorado, there you go. We click enter and activate. So at least we have a GPS waypoint now, so I'm going to tell the autopilot to now follow the GPS. Which it is doing. I'm going to turn down this overhead light a little bit. It was fairly bright. I do still like to see outside the window. Maybe one more nudge. Where are you? Let's go for this. Okay. So Mike 76, it's about 5.53 minutes. We're at 4,000 feet and holding. I wonder, do you think it's the airfield that I thought later to be a body of water? If that's the case, it is completely not lit. But in any case, it's our destination. .4 nautical miles. Let's start descending. Vertical speed. Let's go 600 feet per minute. We're at 4,000. If we do if we do 1,000 feet per minute in about 4 minutes, we should be at ground level. So maybe a little more. Let's start with 1,000 feet per minute descent. I'm really thinking it is actually, it was actually that dark spot there. So slowly descending. Let's also see if we can reduce the speed a little. Oh, we cannot. Stand by. Let's just start by dropping the gear then. guess what we'll do is we'll just fly overhead just to be absolutely sure. So once we reach about 2,000 feet, that is now, I'm going to hold the altitude. This can go off. So holding the altitude now, so we can have a little look at what is going on here. Because I'm telling you, man, this is pitch black. How the hell am I going to safely land an airplane there? I mean, surely I can land it, but it should not be like this. On the other hand, due to the somewhat clandestine nature of this delivery, this flight, it is probably not too bad if the airfield is not very properly lit. Going to turn off the autopilot for now, trim it down. And get a little lower. This should be our destination then. So now we know what we're dealing with. We'll just fly the pattern. I do not like it doing this, see what I mean? So just put in a little more power. Let's put in a lot more power. It's trimming up, man. Stop it. There, the autopilot is completely off. Nose down, make some speed. It just does not seem to want to trim down. Come on, trim down, please. Reduce the speed. Flaps are down. For some reason, the nose keeps wanting to go up. However much I trim, okay, there you go, this looks a little bit stable. What the hell, man? Okay. Sorry if I gave everybody a fright. So we're back to a stable flight now. And just carry on a little bit. I'm going to roll my pre-crashing cigarette with the rolling tobacco, and then bring the aircraft around, configure it for landing, and set it down in the dark. Our attitude is fine. Our speed is fine. It's a little bit on the low side. So probably before we turn, increase the speed a little bit more. All the flaps are now up position, retracted. The gear is still down. Okay, so let's do this. We're flying now heading 3, so we're going to fly heading 15. So we're turning the aircraft, put some more power in, turning, just keep it turning, turn on the landing lights. At least the atmosphere through which you are flying is lighting up. Okay, so about 15, let's level it off. And now let's use the GPS to find the airport, because visually not doing it. I'm not sure, I might be doing something wrong. If anyone has an idea, please let me know. As long as it's not control. Oh, what was it? Control Shift F1. I think it might be that dark blob there. Yes, I'm going for it. So, speed reducing, flap full. I was wondering about the, oh, apologies. Yeah, not really sure what's going on. Okay. Man, we must be crazy. There's absolutely nothing to see here. Besides a big structure, which nobody would like to hit. So we'll just fly over the roof. There you go. You just try to set it down. There's the ground. So touchdown. Look, there's the car waiting for us. Look at that. I believe we just crossed the runway. Let's turn around and look. Flap up. What do you think? Think this is the runway? You know, I'm suspecting this is actually a runway, man. But I'm telling you one thing, when we get out of here, I will not use this. I mean, if you look, I don't see shit from Shinola, man. Okay, so let's get over to the pickup vehicle. That's not it. There's actually an aircraft sitting there. Look at that. We could have easily crashed into it. to Mexico, everybody. Okay, so parking brake is set. Let's turn off the engine. There you go, so the engines are off. So we do not want to sit here on the battery power for too long. We still have to take off. So this should be our partner. So bear with me one moment. Let's get some lights going. Open up the door there. Okay, so again, welcome to Mexico. So basically, we'll just collect our cargo and see where was this guy. Well, these guys are going to have to work on their communication, man. You know what, I'll just drop it next to the other plane. Okay, amigo. I'm supposed to tell you Uncle Sam is having chocolates for dinner tonight. Okay? I will put the chocolates right here. No need to get upset, man. Just chill out. I'm out of here. I have no business with you whatsoever. Just delivering. That's all. Like I said, once we are let's just get back on the board as soon as we can. So once we are back on board, let's see if we can find the airport diagram for this airport. Let's close this up. Man, I'll be really glad once we're out of here. I'm telling you, this is one crazy place to land in. Okay, door. Where's your sweet spot? You got it. There you go. Okay. Alright. You know what? Let's just start by starting up the engine quickly. So at least we're not draining the battery. Engine number 1 is a success. Engine number 2 is also a success. So that's good. Thank you very much. Let's turn on this light completely now. Okay, so the engine is engineering. So that's good. The delivery has been made. All we need to do now is get airborne and fly to our final destination. So I'll show you the final destination once again, in case there's anything wrong with your memory or just tuning in or whatever. So we are sitting here now. Basically the idea is we take off from here and fly for about 7 nautical miles. It's a short little hop across the border right here into the United States. Mind a peak there of 360 feet. and it's heading of 039er. There's no VOR or anything, so the Rolly airfield will just try to put this into our GPS. I believe that would be the safest thing to do now. So that was 4 Alpha. So look for the number 4. Next, again number 4. Next, please. No, not 6 and 5. Next field, there you go. And then Alpha. That's it. Click on the enter. Activate. Okay, so at least we have GPS. And I do want to have a look at the airport diagram for our current location, which is Mike 76. So let's have a look at our charts, see if there's anything that makes any kind of sense to us. Mike 76. See, it does not seem to find it. I had a hard time finding this airport for some reason. We cannot zoom in any further. That's quite a shame, because we'd definitely like to see what the airport layout is here. So maybe let's try Mike 76 charts. See if there's any kind of information. Runway 13 and runway 31. That's all they're saying here, and they're offering a t-shirt. There's a website. I'm not even going to tell you the name because I don't trust this website for one bit. I've seen this before. I must admit the t-shirt is quite cool, but everything this year smells like clickbait. So the longest runway is 4,900 feet. They have one runway, and it is 2 direction. Runway 13 and runway 31. Okay, let's quickly get out of here. So runway 13 and 31. What we could maybe also try is a little bit of the cheat, obviously. See what the map here says from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, so there's the runway. Okay, so if we turn around, heading of about 35 degrees or so, we should be able to follow the road, and then I think we take a left turn around there. So we turn right. Let's see if we can see anything outside. Man, this is a difficult airport. in the dark, I'm telling you. Okay, enough pussyfooting. The parking brake is released. Little bit of thrust. Let's not hit the airplane there. We're going over the grass a little bit. It definitely does look like we are heading to the right direction. It actually looks like there is a runway. Look at this, man. Oh, this feels good. Well, at least it looks like we landed in the correct direction, but I'm not really sure. It was battle conditions, to be fair. I think you could check actually here on the GPS. Yeah, we definitely came from that side. So I think we landed okay. We just did not land on the runway. Which is actually really pretty fucking far from okay, but under the circumstances it was pitch black, there was nothing to see. I know, excuses. But we live. And the package is delivered. That was the whole goal of tonight's flight. This will probably be long enough, because if you consider the runway, well, just keep on pressing. If you consider the runway that we used for the takeoff, oh, we're here already. Let's turn around and get this bird off the ground and into the air flying. Come on, don't be shy. That's it. Okay, line it up. Man, I really want to get out of here. Okay, so here we are. With regards to the navigation, we're going to follow the GPS. The autopilot is off. I'm going to turn on nav and GPS, but the autopilot is still off, so that should be fine. Let's just, in any case, put in the heading for the runway. 13, so we have that sitting as well as a backup. You know, actually we're going to select it. We're just going to fly runway heading, take off, and then once we reach, I don't know, 2,000 feet or whatever, we're going to engage the autopilot. I would also like to see, before we go, I know I said I really want to get going, but obviously I also want to arrive. So we're going to, what was the name again? check again what they call this. Oh yes, it's 44 Alpha. So we look 44 Alpha. Press the search. What do you know? It sort of exists. I do not think there are any charts or anything. Runways. Runway 17 and 35. Regardless of the wind, we're going to land on 35. It's about so. Runway 35, so that's it. VHF 122. I'm not really sure what can you do with this. VHF 122.9. That's interesting to discover. 122.9. In what range? It looks that's the radio. Well, we're going to have to skip that one. Okay, so the runway heading is 35. So we will take off 130, take a left turn, and then try to do a straight in landing there on runway 35, like that direction. And let's have a look here. Can we zoom in? Sort of. Okay, never mind. So takeoff means flaps for takeoff and full mixture and feather. All the appropriate lights are on, and the flight directory is off, and the autopilot is off as well. Parking brake released. Now let's get the hell out of this place. Okay, so we are all airborne. Gear is coming up. Flaps are coming. We're going to engage the autopilot. Should do the heading, the runway heading. Let's just try the altitude hold now. We're flying at 1,000 feet. We're sort of stabilized. So let's do heading. And then we should start following the magenta line there. Goodbye, Black Hole Airport. Okay, so we are actually flying really low. Going to reduce the speed a little bit. That might be the runway. I mean, you're not telling me that, you know, there's going to be another airport without lights? Probably not. So for now, let's turn off the landing lights. You know what, let's turn off all the external lights. And maybe dim this a little bit as well. There, nobody can see us. There's only minimal light from the flight deck, from the cockpit I should say. And we crossed the border. We're in the United States, everybody. So we're almost overhead. Let's zoom out a little bit. Man, you're not telling me this airport is also in the dark? If that's the case, I don't know what I'll do. Well, I think actually I do. I will not land again at such an airport. Zoom out from the external view. This is just crazy, man. Look. We just passed our destination. And nothing here looks like an airport. So what we will do is very simple. Power it up. And we climb. And since we're in the United States now, we're going to find a bigger airport, and I'm going to turn on some of the external lights. Okay, so where to go? Luckily we got the charts on the board, and there is a big airport here, Yuma. It's about 10 nautical miles from our current destination. There's a small airfield there, I'm not trusting it. So that is Kilo November Yankee Lima. So Kilo November Yankee Lima. Kilo November Yankee Lima. Where are you, Lima? Enter, activate. It is activated. We're 4 nautical miles. There it is. We'll do straight in from here. Turn off the autopilot. Taking the control. Oh, it's actually here, look. is also somewhat dark, man. What the hell are you doing to me? It's becoming like a slapstick. Or like a farce. Okay, trim it down. Gear down. And let's just fly the pattern. Ah, look, it's lighting up as soon as we get a little bit closer. So that's good. Man, these adventures in the early evening, truly crazy. Okay, so we basically will follow the road there. Reduce the speed a little bit more. Flap 1. There's the outer marker signal. There's one runway. And there's the other. So just follow the road until your lights end. Let's try to get some level flight now because we're getting a little bit dangerously low. Add a little more power. Let's take a left turn. Let's quickly check. 3 so about 15, 14, 13. Trim it so we do not go down too quickly. There's the runway, people. Oh my god, man, finally. Okay, reduce speed. Flaps full. Trim it down, try to get it stabilized. Turn on the landing lights. Not really sure if I can see correctly, but okay, now this looks fine. Okay. Okay, we're coming in, people. Going to land on American soil. A little high, but for now I prefer a little bit of a high energy approach. Okay, so here we are above the runway. Engines to idle, set it down. Easy, there you go. Flaps up. This looks like the type of airport. Oh, was it an intersection? Yes, maybe. Let's stop here. In the middle of two runways. See, we do not need, so we will need this one now. Where are we? GPS tracking. Okay, so here we are. Does this actually have a... obviously, let's try to find the airport here. What was the name again? Kilo November Yankee Lima. Kilo November Yankee Lima. Okay, so it's searching. vehicle. There it is. Oh man. Okay. Open up the charts. Let's look at the taxi. The airport info, takeoff minimum is all this miserable crap. Finally, so we are sitting here and we'll need to find some parking spot. Defense contractor complex, vertical takeoff and landing pad, customs terminal. So probably we make a 180 and go on to Zulu 3, Zulu, cross runway 8, and then we go to the customs terminal, and then I'll phone my boss and we'll be out of here in no time. So we do a 180 and take our first left. Can we see anything outside? Not really. It's always interesting. Okay. Let's do the 180. And see if we can get off anywhere. It doesn't really look like it to me, actually. You know what? Screw this. We're going home. We're going rogue, people. Interested to see now what the chart says. Oh, we landed on this one, or what? Or we went onto this one. I'm completely lost. But no problem. We're just going to that structure there. That structure should then be... That is actually the customs terminal, so that's fine. So I'm quickly texting my boss with the current information, and he will have a man in this city, and he will come and get us out of here. And, tomorrow we just return here, and we can take off and fly back to California, without actually having to go through Mexico. Let's just open up the window because I'm getting really hot here inside. turn on the blue light. And disengage the engine. Okay, so the avionics are off. Landing lights, navigational lights, strobe lights, recognition lights are off too. Fuel selector, go to the off position. Turn off the magnetos. Left and right alternator and the battery. Fuel tanks were already off. The flaps are all up. So I think that's it. Now we can get out of here. Find the sweet spot. There you go. So welcome to the United States, everybody. Let's close the door. Look at that, that's sweet, isn't it? So that's completely not suspicious. Just landing here and having some phone calls and you know, walking around with a little flashlight in your hand. Well, that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you found this video, you should be very proud of yourself because you have found the very last page on the internet. So you are a special person. So everybody, thank you. Stay sweet, be kind to one another. We are all we have. Love will in the end conquer everything. So keep on remembering that. Like I say, I'm signing off. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. Thank you very much for checking, and see you next time, hopefully. Alright, good night.